Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of the program. As always, my name is Rachel Aroture. Today, I'll be talking about something I had talked about in one of my podcast messages. I just thought it wise to make a video out of it. By the way, this is my ninth day of posting a video here on Instagram. My topic for today is minding the kind of advice you get from people. On this fateful day, I had my hair was rough. You know how challenging it is. First of all, when you're on natural hair. Secondly, when you live in the diaspora and making hair here is such a big deal. Okay, so I was like, you know what? I just twisted my hair, one after the other, like tiny, tiny braids, and I had packed all of them together, leaving some to dangle in front. And I remember when I was leaving the house that particular day, my husband told me that he thinks, dreads will look good on me. That have I ever considered making dreadlocks, going on dreads? And I told him that dreadlocks is so expensive to maintain. I don't mind going on dread. I like dreads, by the way, but it's so expensive to maintain. So he was like, he just felt it would, it would look good on me. That is something you can consider. And I also like ponytail. So I felt like if I do dreadlocks, I would deprive myself of, packing my hair together and having a ponytail. So I kept it moving and I went to the store that day. I was going to go to an African store to buy groceries. So when I got to the store, the way the store was designed is in a way that when you get there, you pluck out a tag from a particular a vending machine, and then you wait. If it's your turn, you will see your number being displayed on the screen. So I had picked up my number. I was just pretty much waiting to see my number displayed on the screen. So I saw this elderly lady walk up to me in the most nicest way you can ever think of. She came in with a big smile. So when she came to me, she whispered to me and said, I'm not sure as at that day if I was wearing my wedding band. Okay, so she came to me and said she wanted to tell me something. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. So she said that she wanted to tell me something concerning the dreadlocks that I was carrying. That she just wanted to tell me that I hope I know that no responsible young man will approach me for marriage since I'm on dreadlocks. When I looked at her age, looked at everything around, the situation around, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I just have to keep quiet and listen to her speak, because in Africa, if there's anything we do to the elderly is to respect them, okay? So I thought that okay. So, I gave her an opportunity to say more. And then she goes that no responsible man wants to settle down with a lady on dreadlocks, right? So that I should try my best that when I leave the store, I should go back and cut my hair. And I told her, okay, that's fine, no problem. So she also went ahead. You know how our Africans are always very quick to give unsolicited advice. Not because they don't like you, but that's just the way it was. Back home, they used to say it takes a village to raise a child. So I remember back then also, if let's say you're doing something wrong and somebody sees you, they have every right. Some of them will caution you on the spot, or they will call your parents to let them know what you're doing. So I feel that's still obtainable. It's an African thing, okay? Which is good, don't get me wrong. Okay, now, after the lady had, she had left, and after I had bought whatever it is I came to the store, I came to the store to buy. On my way going home, I just sat down and I started thinking about this wonderful elderly lady. And I asked myself, like, if really I was in a state where I really needed, to find a life partner, or I was looking to get married in the future, if I wasn't, how would I have taken that advice from this elderly lady? If it happened that I really was single and I needed, a life partner at all costs, and now this lady walks up to me like an angel telling me that no responsible young man will want to settle down with a lady on dreadlocks, how would I have taken that message? So I had to just, I was thinking a lot of things on my head on my way driving home. And I started wondering, like, putting it to a real life scenario to say, how many times have people told us their own opinions and we take it so dear in our heart and, probably even give ourselves some forms of depression? How many times have we heard let me not call them naysayers, or how many times have we heard something negative and we take it to heart, causing ourselves more pain. I'm like, you know what, I should talk about this in my podcast. So that was why, as at that time, that was my next topic of discussion in my podcast. Like, let's be careful the kind of informations we get from people, like the kind of advice we get from people. Let's be careful the kind of things we break down, the kind of informations we break down in our mind. Sometimes some of those things just go there to shatter us. Some of those things just go there to cause us even more pain. So I hope with this message we'll realize that, first of all, if we're to analyze this elderly lady and myself, first of all, I was married by God's grace, and my husband had already told me that he felt dreadlocks would have looked good on me. Also, that's one advantage. Second advantage, thirdly, she's elderly, so it would have been easy if it was a single lady who had seen this elderly lady. It would have been more depressing for her. Going back home, she'll feel like, oh, probably this dreadlocks is the reason for her problems, or some little things that are not important that we take so dear to us. So I hope this message kind of resonates with you, to teach you or to inform you that not everything you hear from people, not every advice you hear from people, you take to heart. Thank you so much for taking our time to listen to my message today, and I'll see you on my next episode. Have a good day.